Yeah, baby. Welcome to Wednesday. It's Tony Kurre here at Tony Kurre Radio, checking in here on Facebook Live. Of course, you can listen to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Tony Kurre Radio. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app. It's Kurre with a K, TKR, Tony Kurre Radio. Download the app. It's free. We won't follow you, notify you, anything like this. Just great classic rock and roll 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also go to Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and listen to well over 100 different shows. Adapt or Perish, Dark Side of the Pooch. Later on tonight, we're going to be on Live Wire Wednesday, brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing, 205-682-2828 for all your staffing needs. Kai Greger and his crew do a fantastic job. It's a full hour of AC/DC later on tonight, 8 o'clock. Mission Minded with Michael Coleman. We got that show going on Wednesdays. Blues Almighty, brand new show with Austin Hanks, going to be premiering tomorrow at noon and 8 here on Tony Kurre Radio. And again, on our Spotify podcast platform, we have the Damon Johnson Show on Fridays. We have When in Rome with Stuart Rome from the Woodhouse Day Spas, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can join us there. And of course, we have a classic hip-hop show, make you feel like you're back in the bathroom with jitterbugs all over again. Coming up on Saturday. So great shows. Check out Spotify. It's great. Don't forget, I put a video out yesterday. My good friend Ed Foster joined me down at Workplay. We got a quick little promo for a very special evening next Thursday at Workplay. Eric Waters is going to be playing live entertainment. Cashback will be playing throughout the entire evening as we remember the life of Fred Foster. Everyone knows Ed and Fred. If you've been to any concert in Birmingham in the last 40 years, you've seen Ed and Fred. They're identical twins. They're fantastic, lovely guys. And Fred lost his life to cancer a couple months ago. And so Ed wanted to have a night of drinking, live entertainment, and of course a celebration of his brother's life. And we'll do that next Thursday, April 21st at Workplay. Come check us out. It's free, no cover. Bar opens at 4 o'clock, 4:30. So grab yourself a couple of toddies. We'll have some surprises throughout the evening, and we'll remember and celebrate the life of Fred Foster again at Workplay going on next Thursday on April 21st. I'll be down there hosting the night. It should be a lot of fun. Gilbert Gottfried lost his life, speaking of that, yesterday at the age of 67. And it's interesting because normally there's a certain amount of respect that comes out for any type of celebrity when they lose their life, and it almost feels like some people are kind of happy to see him go. I got a chance to meet Gilbert a couple times, bring him on stage, and in his own right was a fantastic comedian. Early in his career was a really funny guy. Later in his life, he got to be known as the guy that would joke about anything. He was making jokes about 9/11 the day after it happened. He will joke about incest, rape. He would joke just about anything. He joked about the tsunamis and everything else. He lost a lot of advertising deals because of it. He had a whole thing with Aflac that he lost millions and millions of dollars on. Didn't care about the woke culture we live in. He's like, I'm going to do my stuff. And it's really interesting on comedians because you can joke about tragedy when you're a comedian. They always talk about timing. You know, comedians always talk about timing. It's not always the timing of the joke. It's the timing of when you tell the joke. And Gilbert was a really funny guy and didn't need to go there in order to wow people and knock them off their boots on stage. But towards the end of his career, it was almost like he was looking for things that were really uncomfortable to talk about and trying to make jokes about it. Some of them were funny, some weren't. We've all been at a comedy show where we heard something, we're like, whoa. And then we kind of smirk. If you kind of smirk, you kind of think it's funny. And again, comedians are one of the few people that can do and say anything they want. And of course, we certainly saw that with Chris Rock. Of course, there was a response there a couple weeks ago. But it's really interesting because we think it's horrible. We think it's terrible that you joke. A lot of people in Gilbert Gottfried's audiences would say it's too soon. It's funny because, you know, we can talk about, you know, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln now. I don't know if it's funny or not, but you can pop a joke about it because it's been forever since it's happened. If it's something that happened just yesterday, so there's a timing differential there. There's a time where, okay, is it safe now to tell this joke? And if you have to ask that question, it's probably not. Sam Rushing, good morning to you. It's probably not. But the one thing I did love about Gilbert is he didn't give a damn. He was a comedian. A lot of comedians don't. And again, if you're selling out arenas, you can go from Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, to any comedian that gets out there. We love to hear that really uncomfortable joke, man. That off-color joke where we're kind of like, and then we kind of smirk about it a little bit. We like that. And that's why we buy tickets to see these guys. And if you don't like it, don't go. If you know what kind of comedian Gilbert Gottfried was, and you're still going to a show, you didn't give a damn, man. You're going to go and laugh anyway. So anyway, so thoughts and prayers go out to Gilbert Gottfried. He died from complications from muscular dystrophy. Something else happened last night I thought was the funkiest thing. You know I love pets. I have a snake. I have gerbils. I have fish. I've had goats. I got chickens. I've got 4 dogs, 2 dogs here, 2 of my exes. I've got a cat. I had a possum on my front porch the other night. I've had it all, right? I'm thinking about getting a coatimundi. I've had parrots. I've had parakeets. I've had an Amazon parrot. I've had it all. I love animals. We do Dark Side of the Pooch with Dr. Rab Stewart every Monday to enforce that. It runs at noon and 8. Of course, again, you can check it out on our podcast platform. So I love animals, and I love people that stand up for animals. It's a great thing. Not particularly a PETA guy. When I first got to town, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile was here. And I was like, man, if I could do my show from the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, that would be like a dream come true. So I came up in the parking lot, and I got in the front seat, and I said, can I drive the Wienermobile? It's like 40-foot wiener driving down the road, right? And they're like, sure. So I was doing my show live in afternoons when I was doing Classic Rock 99.5, and I'm driving down through Southside, and PETA people got on either side of the Wienermobile and started throwing bloody cuts of meat at the side of this giant wiener. Oh, it was great, man. If we had social media back there, it would have been viral. It would have been awesome. It would have been killer. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? And of course, they didn't like the fact that we were driving a giant processed wiener down the road, which I thought was really cool. So I get that. So last night at the Clippers-Timberwolves game on the NBA, and I'm really not into the NBA right now. I'll wait till the playoffs start here in a day or two. But evidently, they were shooting free throws at one end of the floor. This happened late last night, like 11:30. This woman is seen laying on the floor at the other end of the court in the paint. And evidently, she was protesting the Timberwolves owner, who has a giant chicken farm industry, of the inhumane way he kills his chickens. And so to protest that, she tried to super glue her wrist to the basketball court last night. And she's lying there. It's all over the news this morning, and I'll send out the picture through Tony Kurre Radio and TonyKurreRadio.net, wherever you find me on social media. But she tried to super glue her wrist to the court last night, and briefly it worked because she got the attention she wanted to get. People were like, what the hell is this woman doing on the court? And evidently the glue did not hold, which would not be a good endorsement for like Gorilla Glue or whatever kind of glue. We need to find out what kind of glue it is. The woman who put the glue in her hair, that's a great endorsement. I was taking the cap off some super glue the other night and sprayed it in my mouth, and I still had this giant pallet of crap on the upper. I can't taste anything. But she evidently tried to do this, and so I give you kudos for at least stopping the game and protesting what you thought was a wonderful cause. But at the same time, I've never heard of anyone. I've heard of people climbing trees. I've heard of people standing in front of tanks. I've heard of people doing all kinds of strange things so you cannot move forward. But to super glue your wrist, birthday party at Hacienda, it was wonderful. All right, have yourself a wonderful day again. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app. It's free. Be doing me a huge favor. We got thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people already following us and listening to the radio station. It's this great classic rock and roll. And then we have 10 different shows, everything from the Curry and Claypo show, which we'll be doing tomorrow morning. With Dr. Josh will be in the studio. We'll also be on Fox 6 tomorrow morning at 9:30. Adapter Parish, When in Rome. I mean, the shows go Live Wire Wednesday, Blues Almighty, the Damon Johnson show. We got killer shows, great content. A lot of them have classic rock in them, a lot of business shows, mission-minded. Check it out on Spotify. It's free as well. Just search Tony Kurre Radio. You can listen to well over 100 different shows, and I greatly appreciate you following us and listening to us this morning here. Join us again tomorrow morning with Dr. Josh and myself, Tony Kurre, right here on the Curry and Claypo Show on Tony Kurre Live on the Tony Kurre Radio Network. Have a great day.